The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
This week on Fast Track, we'll find out the meaning behind taking selfies and learn how to prepare for severe weather.
We'll find out why students tan even with the risk of skin damage and check out a class on campus that's giving students real hands-on experience.
We will also visit the Union Club Hotel, find out about new sculptures on campus, and see a new organization that is getting underclassmen involved in production. It's all coming up next on Fast Track. Welcome back to Fast Track. We're bringing you this week's show from outside the Purdue Memorial Union. I'm John Rawlings.
And I'm Jenny Strouk. In this day and age, people communicate through hundreds of different channels. Phone, email, and text messaging are all viable ways to connect to another individual. But what about selfies? Can this new picture-taking trend be the form of communication people will turn to next? Fast Track reporter John Rawlings brings us the story.
Oh, excuse me, I was just taking a selfie. You know, letting my friends know what I'm doing and where I'm at, expressing myself in a unique, artsy way through a self-portrait. Maybe I'll use this picture for my Instagram account, or maybe I'll just keep it to myself to see what I look like. Who knows? But what I do know is selfies are more than just pictures. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a selfie is a photograph that one has taken of oneself, typically taken with a smartphone or webcam and uploaded to a social media website. With this new word being added to the latest dictionaries, you could expect that selfies are the newest trend. Some selfies are basic and simply contain oneself. Others are more group-oriented, sometimes called ussies. Some show your current mood or the emotion that you are feeling. Angry because of a term paper or confused because you do not know what is going on. Others may be showing off that delicious burrito you are getting ready to consume or that cigar you are ready to smoke. Maybe you wanted to show off your comfy neck leopard pillow, or wanted to let your friends know you just witnessed a plane crash in a field. You might have just purchased a Hawaiian bird hoodie, or feel it necessary to let everyone know you are on spring break and going to dinner. But selfies are not limited to ordinary people, like you and I. Celebrities and athletes even participate in this craze. Charles Woodson snapped a picture of himself at a Michigan basketball game. Reggie Bush would like his fans to know that he is at the dentist today. Drew Brees wouldn't mind letting everyone know he just met Yoda. SportsCenter anchor John Butchergross wouldn't mind letting you peek behind the scenes, and even Michelle Beadle and Joel McHale don't mind sharing their day at work with you. The point being, selfies can be taken by anyone, anywhere. The big question, why are they being taken? Men and women both participate in this phenomenon, and the reasons vary.
Selfies mean to me a chance for embarrassment, but also a viable way to communicate with the opposite sex at times.
I think selfies are okay because they're an expression of your personality and you can be creative.
I'm not personally a selfie taker, but I think they can be really funny and I see them on a daily basis.
I take selfies because, first off, I like to show people that I'm gorgeous. I think that needs to be shared with the world. I also have to show off, artistic abilities and hopefully be able to network with other people in the drag industry to help promote not only the Purdue show, but my future within that.
Besides these Purdue students, many found it somewhat embarrassing to even talk about the topic of selfies. They said that they were uncomfortable. Could this be taken as though selfies are supposed to be private? Or did people feel embarrassed because they looked goofy and are guilty of committing the selfie pose? Regardless, selfies have characteristics that are liked and disliked.
I think selfies do promote yourself in the most superficial, shallow way possible. I think it's more to promote yourself and your appearance as opposed to just getting likes.
When I see a selfie go up on, say, Facebook or Twitter, somewhere where it's permanent and used for retweets, favorites, likes on Facebook, whatever it may be, it kind of screams attention. I want some attention. So that's why I would never put a selfie on a permanent site like that, because I think it screams desperation.
I feel like in today's society, basically, you rate yourself off of how many likes you get on a picture. So I think that people take selfies basically to see how many likes they can get.
As you can see, people post selfies for a variety of reasons. Whether it be to brag about where they are or just to let the world know what they are doing, selfies have a unique property about them. A property that cannot be pinpointed, but rather explored into for the many reasons why we take them. No matter which way you look at it, selfies are tools of communication. This picture not only shows you, it can also show where you are and what you are doing in a quick and efficient manner. And in this day and age, many strive for the attention that selfies bring to you. Attention equals power, and many people like to be noticed. So before you take that next selfie, think about why you're doing it. Why are you participating in this new trend? Maybe you'll think differently about it and set the phone down. Or maybe you'll promote yourself in this unique way. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm John Rawlings. Spring is just around the corner, and that means severe weather season is about to begin. Each year, many storm systems make their way through the state of Indiana, sometimes packing a powerful punch. But how prepared are you when a severe storm is headed your way? Reporter Josh Gimbel has more on the story.
While many students are away on spring break, faculty and staff on Purdue's campus are preparing for what could be another active severe weather season.
We try to use a very basic concept of sirens outside, and we call them the all hazards outdoor warning sirens. And we emphasize the outdoor part because the sirens are not meant to be heard inside a building. So once the sirens go off, we want people to come inside, whether it's a tornado warning, whether it's a shooting event, whether it's a hazardous material release. So basically that sound outside should drive people inside. And that's step one. And then they need to determine based on what they have received by the other layers of Purdue Alert, whether it's an email, text, the Boiler Television Emergency Alerting System activation. We're just now incorporating social media into it, so we're pushing out the information through Twitter and also posting on a Facebook page. So any one of those other layers will tell the stakeholders, the faculty, staff, students, what the incident is, and then they should adjust what they need to do based on that incident.
Purdue is not the only one preparing for severe weather season. Communities all across the state are preparing for what Mother Nature may bring this spring. WLFI News 18's weekend meteorologist Amber Hardwick offers her advice for keeping everyone ahead of the storm.
It is always important to have a plan in place, whether you're in school, in a business, or even at home. And if you have children, it's your responsibility to let them know what to do if there is a severe thunderstorm warning or even a tornado warning issued. And it's also a good idea if you want kids to learn your severe weather preparedness plan, make a game out of it. Be like, okay, a tornado warning is issued, what are we going to do? And make a game out of it and see if your kids know what they can do in a severe weather situation.
One of the ways to prepare yourself for severe weather is to purchase a weather radio, like this one right here. Weather radios are truly crucial for keeping you and your family safe for when severe weather strikes.
When you have a weather radio, it alerts you when you have a watch. Even if it's flooding and winter storm warnings, it alerts you when anything is issued. And if you have it set to your county, that is just ideal. That gives you a heads up of what's going on. I've met someone who says, I wish I had a weather radio, and she ended up losing her home. And she was in her home, and she wasn't alert at the time.
Even though most major severe weather events don't always happen, it's always good to be prepared for when weather is at its worst.
It's very unlikely that we're going to have a tornado, but Tippecanoe County has the highest number of tornado touchdowns of any county in the state of Indiana. So we're driving folks to think about this, even though it may not happen here, or it may not be a significant F4 or F5. But if it is an F4 or F5, we want them to be thinking about the safest location that they happen to be in that specific day.
One final tip to mention: if you're out driving and see a tornado in the distance, pull over to the side of the road and find a low-lying area like a ditch and lie as flat as possible in it. Make sure you cover your neck and head with your hands. For more tips and information about severe weather preparedness, go to weather.gov and under the Weather Safety section, click on Severe Weather. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Josh Gimbel.
Coming up, we'll find out why the risks don't prevent students from taking a trip to the tanning salon.
We'll also visit a class on campus that is giving students first-hand experience when it comes to running a restaurant. It's all coming up next.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We are all Boilermakers, but we're also much more. We're history makers, exploring the farthest reaches of our universe, often when strapped to a rocket. We are hope makers, rebuilders of Haitian cityscapes who ensure they'll now withstand any disaster. We are difference makers, developers of drought-resistant crops that just might end world hunger. The fact is, what we make moves the world forward. We are Purdue, makers all.
As we return from spring break and head into warmer weather, our temptation to sun exposure is a high one for most college students, at least according to a recent study published in USA Today. However, the majority of our exposure isn't coming from the sun, but rather ultraviolet light used in tanning beds, which happen to be the #1 cause of skin damage. Fast Track reporter Jenny Strauch looks into the motivation behind students' decisions to head into the tanning salon.
When it comes to spring break, many people believe going tanning beforehand can help prevent sun damage. But are we actually doing damage to our skin rather than preventing it? Disturbing new statistics about skin cancer have recently said the number of young adults, specifically women and children, with melanoma have jumped dramatically in the past 30 years. The probable culprit? Ultraviolet light, both from the sun and indoor tanning beds. But unfortunately, that doesn't stop most people from visiting these sunbeds, especially when it comes to getting that base tan before spring break.
We're headed down to Fort Myers, Florida for spring break.
Tanning so that I don't get fried on spring break next week.
I'm supposed to tan for spring break. I'm super pale, so I always burn the first day and then I have to stay inside. So my family has decided I'm supposed to go tanning before.
Yet for others like Jordan, say they choose to tan for just pure enjoyment.
Just the warmth and just laying there. I take a nap every time I go in there. It's just a good feeling.
In January of this year, USA Today released a study that found more than 59% of college students have used indoor tanning services, and 17% are being used by young teens. Just in the past year alone, 43% of university students were recorded using a tanning bed.
Well, generally we market to just college students, solely college students. Our standard customer, 85% of our customers are women, with about 15% being men. We do cater to a lot of the Greek system, but then I think just people that are concerned with image.
The battle for health experts to try and convince young people in particular about the dangers of tanning appears to be a losing one. This accusation was proven true when I asked students if they would change their minds about continuing to go tanning, knowing their risk of getting melanoma increased by 75% by just laying in a tanning bed one time before the age of 35. The responses were shocking.
A little bit, but you always it's kind of like drinking, you get the same thing.
Drinking's bad for me too, but I still do that, so.
I mean, I know that increases my chances a lot, so yeah, it makes me think about it, but I try not to think about it.
If I'm gonna do one bad thing, I might as well just keep going, do them all.
Probably not. No, it doesn't change my mind, just to be honest, yeah.
Even these students who say skin cancer is no stranger to the medical history in their family are choosing to ignore the risks and admit it's their parents who are actually pushing them to go.
Yeah, they actually are the ones who tell me I should go.
To be honest, skin cancer runs pretty heavily in my family.
And skin cancer runs in my family too, so that's why I have to be super careful about everything.
But I kind of just told myself it's bad, but if I just go a couple times, it probably isn't as bad as what it could be, but I'm assuming I'll probably get skin cancer anyway.
6 states have already banned the use of tanning beds from those not over the age of 18. Many other states just require a parent or legal guardian to sign a release form in order for young teens to tan. In the meantime, tanning salons stress regulations and certain safety procedures before stepping into that bed.
I don't think necessarily ban it because it's kind of your own decision, but I mean, definitely let people know more. But I don't think banning is necessary. I think that'd probably make more people mad than it would help.
Well, we go by the Indiana State guidelines, which are pretty general for a national guideline. People need to wear eyewear. They're limited in exposure. People are also encouraged not to tan, more than a certain amount per week. We have to clean our beds with a certain type of solution at a certain concentration. That needs to remain on the bed for a certain amount of time. With tanning, the biggest problem I see is people will come in here and they'll just want to go the full amount of time right from the first day. They don't want to use lotion. They really don't want to do anything but burn themselves in a bed, and that is dangerous for cancers.
So next time you decide to take a trip to the tanning salon, make sure to take all necessary precautions from keeping those ultraviolet lights from harming your skin. Reporting for Fast Track, this has been Jenny Strauch. Hospitality tourism management students are put to the test in a special lab designed to teach students about the managerial functions of running a food service restaurant. HTM 492 is a 7-hour lab that HTM students must take in order to graduate. Alice King takes us there for more.
Located just inside of the Marriott building is a restaurant called the John Purdue Room. This restaurant is special because it is a lab known as HTM 492, ran by hospitality tourism management students. Depending on what rotation students are scheduled, students are placed in front of the house or the back of the house, ready to serve those who have dinner reservations in the John Purdue Room.
Many of them miss the very last course they take before they graduate. And what we try to do is put together everything that they've learned over 4 years and give them an opportunity to apply it. It gives them an opportunity to apply everything they've learned, hopefully, in a safe environment where there still is a safety net for them. But it also allows us the opportunity to see if they're ready for prime time, and if they're not, to see what we need to do to get them ready for prime time before they leave here and go off to represent Purdue.
Every student in the lab has their special night known as Management Night. Each group is assigned a culinary destination, and they are to
present the menu, the recipes. They do all the managerial functions, costing, shopping, inventorying, making sure everything is here, doing all the prep work, assigning the people who will do the work, all the managerial functions of running a real food service operation.
So this night basically showcases what you learned throughout your 4 years here, and also you have a lot of friends and families coming in to see what you've learned, so this is kind of nerve-wracking a little bit, but it's definitely exciting to demonstrate what you have learned to everyone.
There's always something cooking in the John Purdue Room. Chef Carl says this is a great opportunity for students to learn how to run and manage a restaurant firsthand.
The one thing that I have to stress is that we're not a culinary school, we're not a cooking school. The emphasis is not on the cooking. It is on the management aspect of food service. However, in order to do that, you have to be able to produce food. I don't believe, in fact, I'm certain the students couldn't do it without a chef somewhere in the picture.
Students in the HTM 492 lab create all different types of food from scratch, from pastas like penne alla vodka to a maple and soy glazed salmon. They are handed a recipe and are expected to create the dish firsthand. Although this lab focuses on the restaurant side of the hospitality industry, students feel that this lab will further their knowledge in managing any type of business.
Like 492 is a great way to be exposed to different areas, especially if you're going to be in the restaurant business. But even if you're not going to be in the restaurant business, you can learn about the hospitality skills, management skills, just knowing how to interact with your servers, with people you manage, and eventually when you do go out to the real world, there's the skills that you do need. So it's definitely a great stepping stone.
The John Purdue Room is open for lunch Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 1 p.m. And for dinner, they are open from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. During dinner, customers have a selection of different wines and beers, as all students in the restaurant are certified to serve alcoholic beverages. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Alice King.
After the break, we will check out the Union Club Hotel and learn about new sculptures on campus that are designed to bring students together.
We'll also find out how a new organization is helping underclassmen get involved with production before they are able to be accepted into the majors. It's all coming up next on Fast Track.
That we do, and we try and
And you, yeah, you. Have you ever dreamed of being on TV? Well, in the Brian Lamb School of Communication, we do more than that. You can learn about camera operation, lighting techniques, live TV shows, real client PSAs, weekly news productions, and more. For more information about the video production programs, visit our website or the advising office.
The Union is a well-known hangout for students, staff, and alumni, but some do not realize that there is also a hotel attached to one of campus's favorite buildings. This year marks a big anniversary for the Union. Reporter Louis Day has more on this beloved campus treasure.
The Union and the Union Club Hotel serve as a major hub at Purdue. From weddings to conferences to lunch with friends, the building has a little bit of everything. It has been a landmark on campus that is known for still being the way it was back then, with all of the modern conveniences students want and need. The first part of the Union was built in 1924, making this year its 90th anniversary. However, the hotel is not far behind. As part of the 1929 addition, a wing was added that started the hotel.
The main Union building opened in 1924, but additions were underway to the building pretty much right away, and the first wing of 60 hotel rooms was one of those, and it opened in 1929.
Although the building may be old, both the hotel and the Union keep up to date through renovations. These come in different forms, from changing a couple things to making a major change.
To keep in tune with what's more current in this industry, we've started renovations now where you do more of what we call a pop to the room, where you do a number of things all at the same time.
Other parts of the Union are purposefully left in their original style. The Union is built in the Gothic Revival style, and between the arches and the stained glass, many people consider the Union and the Union Club Hotel to be a campus icon.
You see the south facade of the Union on many university publications, website, those kinds of things. I think the architecture itself, the Gothic Revival architecture of the Union is very well received. Again, Pond and Pond were the architects from Chicago. They also did University of Michigan and Michigan State University.
The Union remains a landmark on campus to this day. In addition to the Union's fame, some notable Purdue alumni have frequented the Union Club Hotel over the years.
We have had, the first one that kind of comes to mind, Orville Redenbacher, the popcorn king, has stayed here. A number of the astronauts have stayed here many times, and in fact it looks like we'll be working with an astronaut reunion coming up here in just a couple of weeks.
Other than famous alumni, many other groups use the Union and the hotel over the course of a year. Conferences, alumni, departments on campus, and even wedding parties use the Union.
I think it's the mission of the Union. It means a lot of things to a lot of different people. I mean, we are a hotel, we are a caterer, we are a conference center. We do have a bowling area and billiards area, and we have lounges for students. But the heart of it is community building. That's really what this Union's mission is.
Community building includes preparing some students for the future. The Union Club Hotel has partnered with Hospitality and Tourism Management to create a lab experience in addition to their internship program that was already in existence. For Kelsey St. John, this means working at the Union once a week for 3 hours, gaining valuable insight into her future career.
So far I like it, and it's interesting to learn and think, oh, this is what I could be doing.
The Union presents a look into history and tradition while looking forward to the future. It is a bridge between new and old, student and alum, the public and the university. For Fast Track, I'm Louis Day.
The Purdue Liberal Arts Department is increasing the presence of creativity on campus. Thanks to a Purdue graduate, a sculpture garden has been commissioned to unify students and to celebrate Purdue's diversity. The art will be located in Founders Park and will allow the public to interact with it on a daily basis. The first installment is set to be unveiled in early April. Reporter Danielle Stevens has more on the story.
Purdue's campus is about to undergo a change in scenery. Thanks to an endowment from a Purdue graduate, the Liberal Arts College is adding the first piece to its new sculpture garden at Founders Park. Harry Bulow, the head of the Ruff School of Visual and Performing Arts, believes that the sculpture will be educational for students on campus. The sculpture will also be a piece that people can interact with and physically touch.
art is really coming to the campus in a significant way. We have outside Powell Hall these two giant heads. It really kind of defines the building a little bit now. We're fortunate to have this fund, the Florence H. Lunsford Fund, that is really going to reshape the Purdue campus.
I think it's a really cool idea that Purdue has used art to bring everyone together. With all the different majors, I feel like it's easy to get into your kind of cliques and not notice anyone else, but I think it's a really creative idea to use sculptures to connect us all.
To make way for the new sculpture, changes had to be made. The large pencil in front of Beering was removed, and while school officials say it will return, most students won't miss it.
I felt like it was pretty general, and if you don't go over near Beering, you might not even see it.
Some people love the pencil. I mean, I think it's a really popular amongst parents and students because, I mean, you know, pencils and papers is part of what they love. But that piece is more of what you might call, quote, pop art. You see, I mean, it takes a kind of a common element that everybody knows about and blows it up into something large, and it's wow, I've never seen a pencil like that. But its theme is really kind of popular and stuff, where this is a different type of sculpture.
Preston Jackson is the man working on the sculpture. Jackson is an artist from the Chicago area and is calling his piece Distant Paths. He hopes for it to engage the students by connecting it through its design.
The human bodies that are going to be shaped into this thing, and it's going to have a kind of a road map or kind of a road that it shows, and the kind of different kinds of personalities. That's the thing about Preston Jackson's work. His work really has a certain kind of strength and personality to it, individual kind of expressiveness. So it has a kind of dynamic impact.
Distance Pass will be unveiled at 3 p.m. on April 11th in Founders Park. For Fast Track, I'm Danielle Stevens.
A new organization on campus called Boiler Productions gives underclassmen the opportunity to experience and learn film, radio, and television production firsthand. Reporter Mackenzie Carney has more on the story.
For students interested in gaining early experience in radio, television, and film production, there's a new organization on campus that can help them achieve just that.
Boiler Productions is an extremely new society, and it's an extracurricular activity for students that want to learn more about broadcasting and media production.
Not only is Boiler Productions great on your resume, this club has given students like Erica Lewin memorable experiences in the field.
Cooking show. Basically, we were just there and we had a competition. I don't know if you know about it, but it was just cool to see like two clubs come together and come out with a product.
Boiler Productions has had many successful television and film projects, and now they plan to expand into radio.
Biggest project that we have coming up, which I'm very excited about, is that we are currently setting up a radio station. At the moment, we have the room, which is just an empty room with a desk and a computer. And soon it will be full with mixing boards, microphones, presenters, producers, and so I'm very, very excited about that.
Students that plan to join Boiler Productions may find it interesting that all members can be as involved as they would like to be, and this club offers many opportunities for leadership.
I was just a club member, but recently I got the position of head of production. So basically I just help out all the people in the club. If they have any questions with the camera or any filming or editing questions, I'm there.
You can be as involved as you want or as little as involved as you want. It's completely up to you. We do take into consideration that it is an extracurricular activity, so obviously studies will always come first, and we have members that literally have got involved with every single project. We have members that are just doing 1 or 2 projects, and some members which, you know, have just done the odd project here and there. You pay your dues for each semester, and it's completely up to you. We don't pressure anybody, but if you do want to learn more, there's tons of things to get involved in.
For more information on Boiler Productions, you can visit their Facebook page or send an email to purdueboilerproductions@gmail.com. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Mackenzie Carney.
That's all we have time for on this week's edition of Fast Track. Thanks for watching. I'm Jenny Strouk.
And I'm John Rawlings. Join us again next week on Fast Track.